What's up, guys? This is gonna be a little bit different of a video today, and that is because at my apartment complex this bike was in the dumpster. So last night I pulled it out, I took it down to the bike shop and used some of the parts in my parts bin and put it together, and it works really good now. I put these lime green cables on because it looks cool and 90s and funky. I tuned the brakes, adjusted everything, got rid of the old shifter that was on it. It didn't really work too well. Went to a friction shifter for simplicity. I also think they look really sick. So like all in all, I'm probably, I don't know, 20-30 bucks invested into this bike, and it's an early 90s Giant Iguana. So I finished it up last night, and today I'm here in Daybreak, and I'm gonna run it on this Velo Solutions pump track. This pump track is super nice. It is set up perfectly. It's huge. There's all different kinds of lines you can run, and what's cool about this neighborhood is there's actually a bunch of jump lines and other like park sections just kind of scattered throughout the neighborhood. So we're gonna go on a little tour today, but I want to show you how you can start mountain biking for less than $50 today. So let's get started. All right, guys. So I filmed the whole segment here, and I went over to the dirt jump line. I'll probably include the footage just so you can see, but this is my first time wearing a chest mount, and I had it on upside down. So you were just like looking at the top tube and my pedals the whole time. So I'm gonna film another segment here at the Velo Solutions pump track on the Giant Iguana, and I don't know how much I'll include, so just gonna kind of go over this bike again. I went and I put all new cables, housing, and just kind of tuned this bike up a bit, threw some new cheap tires on it just to give it some life so it didn't go to the landfill. As I mentioned, it was in the trash at my apartment complex. So here we go. Now this bike is full rigid, meaning it doesn't have any suspension front or rear. And one thing about a full rigid bike is any input you give it is exaggerated. So if you make a wrong move, you're gonna know the bike's gonna slow down. But if you put your weight right and you do everything right, the bike's gonna move fast because there's no suspension to absorb that momentum. So it makes it a really fun bike on the pump track. And for less than $50, you can't even buy a bike at Walmart or Target for $50. And this thing's a legit bike, you know, from a bike shop. It may be 30 years old, but man, you can still have a lot of fun on something like this. Now, I'm not that good at pump tracks. I'm new, but if you've never ridden one, the cardio workout is crazy. I get winded so fast, and I really need to ride them more often, because if you get a new bike and you're not feeling too comfortable on it, maybe you just want to, you know, get more used to it. I firmly believe that there's no better way to get confident on a bike than to bring it to a pump track. And since I haven't ridden this Giant yet, I figured taking it to a pump track first was a good idea. So let me catch my breath here, and I'm gonna try to get some speed. So the first time I came to this pump track was 6 months ago, after I got my first mountain bike, which was a Trek Marlin. And I feel like I'm much faster on this bike, even with 26-inch wheels, and you know, it's super old, but definitely progressed a lot. I was so slow on my track. Give me a second to catch my breath. All right. There's just so many lines you can pick. Velo Solutions does such a good job with pump tracks. It's crazy. If you don't have one in your area, go find one. Make the drive, because they are sick. Woo, no front suspension. Forget. Man, guys. A pump track will really make you feel out of shape too. Can't wear myself out too much because I'm gonna go on a long road bike ride today. Maybe I'll film it. But alright, there's one more thing I want to do here. Just to give the Giant one more little test. And here we go. This thing is so much fun. If you don't have a 90s bike, highly recommend it. If you're a beginner watching videos trying to figure out what your first bike should be, maybe buy a 90s bike. You won't have to invest very much money. You'll learn if you like biking. And while most beginner hardtails start somewhere around the $500 to $700 range, you could literally buy like 10 of these bikes for the cost of one of those. So if you're just starting out, I really think you should get a 90s bike. If you're not starting out and you have your dedicated trail bike, full suspension, whatever it is, then having a 90s bike in your stable is a lot of fun to take out on trails, as I guess some people call it underbiking. And it just makes you look at all the features and the trails much differently, because you have to be way more in tune with your speed as well as your braking and everything, because these bikes don't perform like new bikes, and that's okay. Like, that is the fun of it. It's hard and it takes more skill to ride a bike like this in tough terrain than it does something like my Salsa or any modern trail bike. It's just a lot of fun, and you really don't have to spend much money doing it, especially right now. Like, the bike market is in the dumpster. You can pick these things up on Marketplace. I see them all the time for less than $100, a lot of times $20. Like, you just, I mean, what can $100 buy you that gives you as much fun as something like this? Plus, if you buy a 90s bike, it's going to teach you how to work on bikes, because there's going to be parts wrong with it. You're going to have to change stuff. You can customize it, make it look cool like I did with these cables and the friction shifter, and I just think it teaches you a lot about biking in every single aspect. Oh, check this little dropout. So the first time I rode here was 6 months ago, only maybe 2 weeks into my first mountain bike, which was a Trek Marlin, and I was way too scared to hit this drop. So it's kind of funny because I look at it now and I think I could probably hit it, but just 6 months of progression. You know, if you're a beginner watching this video and you're frustrated because you're not doing everything that everyone else is doing and you're scared to hit features, like, just be patient and work hard, because it really doesn't take that long to start improving, and you'll be really happy when you do. And you know, you just got to push yourself sometimes, and a lot of times what you're afraid of, you will do it and you'll think to yourself like, man, that was so easy. What was I so worried about? At least with me, that happens all the time. And I'm still learning, so it's so much fun, guys. All right, let me get the full suspension out. Be right back. Oh yeah, I should show you guys my little setup I've got here. Pulled my front seat out a while ago just to give me more room because I don't have a truck, but I also lost my other glove. It seems to be a revolving issue, but so yeah, I just pulled my front wheel off. Also, you know, if you guys got a sedan and can't afford a bike rack like me, just pull your front seat out. You might have to spend a little bit more time washing your car. I gotta unstrap this, because with mountain biking, your bike gets dirty and you're shoving it in the car on your seats. But if you're like me and you don't really care, then it's cheaper, and I think it's a lot safer than a bike rack. You know, at least if someone wants to steal your bike, they gotta break into your car. It takes them a lot longer, it's a lot louder, but definitely not for everybody. Anyone who rides passenger with me has to sit in the back like an Uber. Scott, I know you're probably watching this. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Crank Brothers multi-tool here. I love this tool. And back in the secret spot. Nobody will ever know. Holy cow, this bike feels radically different. Also, guys, I got this chest mount, so let me know if you like the footage from the chest mount better. I definitely feel like it's gonna look better. All right. Dig it. This thing feels like a couch. Okay, let's get it. A bit of a case there. This is scary with the frost on it. Let's hit this. Yeah. Like I was saying earlier, I was so afraid to hit that. That was the first time I've hit it. So fun. Just a small little section, but I feel like there's so many different ways to hit it, so many different things you can learn from just a small piece like this. Also, if you guys live in an area and you don't have anything like this, but you know of a spot, or maybe you have a little bit of property or something, let me know, because I would love to start meeting up with subscribers, coming to their neighborhood, and guys, we could build something like this, like with just some shovels and some hard work on a weekend. I would be so down to do that. So make sure you subscribe and let me know in the comments if that's something you would like to do. And my car gets 40 miles to the gallon, and I am not afraid to hop in my car and drive cross country. So if you want to build some trails or ride together, just hit me up.